Hey guys, Hassan here. First of all, a huge thanks to the Sabeen Foundation for inviting me for the prediction competition of WrestleMania and the review episode. And congratulations to Suhaib for winning the prediction competition. You beat us by a mile, so great work on that. I would just like to apologize that I would not be able to make it to the review episode. I have bunch of work to do and I'm completely bogged down with meetings and office work, and I just did not want to delay the review episode any further. It's already been delayed by a day due to my busy schedule. So thank you again to the Sabeen Foundation for waiting for me, but I'm sorry that I'm not able to make it, and best of luck for the review episode. Overall, short review from my side on WrestleMania. It was incredible. I think it was one of the best pay-per-views put out by WWE in recent times, and I guess the competition AEW is giving them is making them, go up a notch and really deliver an amazing show. The first night was just incredible. There were some really good spots. The Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon match, man, that Shane can take a bump. He's 50 above and he can take a bump. Sasha versus Bianca Belaire. I still have PTSD of that shot of the way she whipped her hair into Sasha. That I cannot see long hair anymore without being scared. Overall, it was incredible. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn took the night for me. It was an amazing match, just as I predicted it would be. Seeing Logan Paul getting stunned is amazing. As a KSI fan, I am always down to seeing Logan Paul getting hurt. Jokes aside, Logan Paul has improved a lot, so props to him. Overall, an amazing 2 nights of wrestling. It's been a while since I enjoyed watching wrestling matches on WWE, but the whole pay per view was just amazing. Thank you again to the Sabine Foundation, and apologies for not making it to the review episode. I hope you guys have fun. Take care. Bye.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TSF Reviews. I'm Suhaib, and joining me is Junaid Akram from
Right.
our Geek Dhaba crew. And tonight we're going to be reviewing the WrestleMania 37, Night 1 and Night 2. So, Junaid, how did you feel? Initial reactions?
It was mixed. Mostly it was good, but some of them I made a mistake while predicting one thing, which was stupid of me, but I made a mistake. I didn't know Belair
It's,
won the Rumble, so
and speaking of which, we were supposed to be joined by Hassan Jalil as well, who was part of our prediction contest, but due to some personal uh, engagements, we could not be here. But for now, we'll go ahead as planned, and because we have a lot of matches to catch up on, we'll quickly, gather up. And the first match that we had was for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley. And you got that one right. Today.
yeah.
So take that one away.
Okay, it was good. It was the best way to start the night actually, because the crowd back for the first time, and what better than started off with the championship, right? Main championship of the night. Plus the hurt business is on the top right now, so I'm glad. I mean, the best part is he came alone and he wasn't like nobody interfered mainly in the match, so that was a good part from them.
Mm. I agree. I agree. Basically, the story that was building up to it was sort of like it was going the way that McIntyre was finally going to get his championship victory in front of a crowd because he could not get it last year. He beat Brock Lesnar fair and square, but there was no crowd because of the pandemic, and that was the way the story was building. But Lashley got a really good amount of push just before, and when Lashley became champion, everybody stuck by him, and I think that was probably a very bold call by WWE to keep the belt around him and start off with a heel win.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good call. It was a good call. Although I predicted wrong, but it was a good call for me. It kept, the unpredictability of the tournament at the very start, and the match was very good. And even in defeat, McIntyre did not tap out. He passed out, so even in defeat, still looks good, strong enough.
I mean, it's one has to win, one has to lose, right? And
Mm,
Lashley's on a very good roll since
mm,
the Hurt Business like
mm,
got a huge push. So I'm glad he retained the title.
mm. Okay, one news for you: Hurt Business is no more.
I know it's no more,
Uh,
but
mm. Hurt Business broke up the week before WrestleMania, actually.
since then,
Sadly enough, which
yeah,
yeah,
that's why nobody was with him mostly.
yeah, and which is a very sad thing because I think Hurt Business was a very good faction and could have gone a long way.
But again, this might be like the next part of evolution. Like evolution broke up when everybody became champions and went into the big leagues. So maybe they
Yeah,
have plans for MVP and Benjamin, right?
MVP is still there with Lashley, but
Yeah,
Benjamin and Hurt, and they have, and in the Raw after WrestleMania, they have unveiled two new members of Hurt Business actually, Mace and T-Bar from Retribution,
yeah.
which is a mixed emotions bag. So anyhow, that was match number one. And what would you give it out of five?
Like maybe a 4.2.
4.2. I think it's a 4 out of 5 for me. And I think the standout moment for in this match for me was that spot that where McIntyre dived to the outside. That was a standout moment for me because someone for him to be that big and flying out, that was a
Yeah, and
great move. That was a great moment.
there were less botches in this match. Usually there are a lot of botches in the other matches.
True, true, true. All right, the next match was the tag team turmoil match. I am not going to list all the teams that were involved in this because there was a lot of teams.
Yeah,
Even to the extent that we did not predict Billy Kay and Carmella to be in this, but they were. They started the match and they even
yeah.
won one.
I mean,
So
I just stopped watching this after Mandy and Dana got eliminated.
yeah,
It
but
like
again, the thing is that Natalya and Tamina were sort of getting a push, and even if you've watched the championship match on the next day, people were behind Tamina, and they were actually cheering for her to actually get a win. Sadly, she did not get, or otherwise, I would have had 11 predictions. But anyhow, but people were really behind her at that moment, and they were sort of building up like they were pretty much the only team that could uh, physically meet up with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
yeah,
Otherwise, Riot Squad and Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are really good tag teams, but they lack the physical aspect that Shayna and Nia Jax have.
point. Yes,
But overall, this was an okay match. It was an okay match at best.
2.53, like normal match.
Two for me, definitely. Then we had Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, and this was a beautiful match. I mean, I said it in the predictions, and I knew it because the work rate that it was in this match involved. Seth Rollins is an absolutely amazing worker, and so is Cesaro. And the talent that was in this match, and this match being bad, was a very rare chance for me.
Yeah.
And
The
I
thing
love this match. What do you think?
this was the first singles match for Cesaro in so many
Mm,
years.
mm,
It was a big match,
mm,
and it was perfect. I started to get behind Seth, but I just
mm,
totally lost it when he said about the God thing, and I'm like, no, you don't deserve to
mm.
live.
Yeah, his gimmick has been the Messiah gimmick for a while now, but Seth has been carrying that gimmick for a very good way
Very long
because
time.
even in last WrestleMania, he did that versus Kevin Owens, and that was a very good match as well. And obviously, whenever Rollins is involved in any match, may he lose or win, he'll put on a great show.
Yeah.
and he's such a great wrestler. I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers around. And Cesaro is finally getting a push. I'm really happy for that, and
Hope he gets the
he
title shot.
did, this the swings as
23,
well.
23, I think.
23, yeah. Because he did 22 on SmackDown
Yeah.
and he had to beat that, so he did 23. Although people were hoping it would be 100, but that would be too
Oh, that would
much.
be too long.
Yeah. So, but it was a great match and easily 4.5 for me. What do you think?
4.5. Same.
Great. Okay, next was AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team Championship versus the New Day. Go ahead.
It was a good match. I'm glad like almost is getting, but the thing again is, since the start of the match, the New Day seemed weak. Like they have so much experience, so many titles, but
Mm.
I don't know why they were shown as weak, even though AJ Styles and almost haven't really won a title until now. So the New Day should have come like strong, in my opinion. But the match was good, pretty decent match.
Agreed. Again, supporting your point, New Day was, felt a little heelish at times.
Yeah,
Like they were trying to keep AJ Styles away from Omos, and they were working on him one by one, tagging in, tagging out. So to keep themselves a little fresh, but piping on AJ Styles. But I think the main point of this match was to make sure that AJ Styles is a Grand Slam champion because he's won the WWE Championship, he's won the Universal Championship, he's won the United States Championship, he's won the Intercontinental Championship. The only championship is what he was missing was tag team championships,
yeah,
and he's now a Grand Slam champion.
and the
So
way,
that's pretty much it because
yeah,
AJ Styles is at the pretty much end of his career, although it doesn't look like it. But
it's a phenomenal one.
but he's a phenomenal one, and whenever he wins, wrestling wins anyhow. So no complaints there for me. 3.5 out of 5 for me.
I'll give it a 4.
4. Very fun.
The next would be the
Uh,
Steel Cage match.
Take away.
Okay, I was hoping for Shane to win, but not be humiliated like he was, because he's like been in so many matches. He has so much experience.
Mm.
But again, they're pushing Braun to a whole new level. Maybe trying to give him a title shot at the end of the day.
Mm.
But I don't see it. Braun gets tired super easy, and he doesn't have the
Mm.
stamina as
Mm.
Shane, even in this age, has.
Mm.
So I was hoping for Shane to win, but it was a good match overall. The best part was the one when Shane fell. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming at one point because
Mm.
it was a steel cage match and Shane being involved
Yeah.
had to do it.
He has to do one crazy stunt. That's part of his contract.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was perfect in a way. Just the ending was not.
Yeah, you can say, but the thing was that I was not at all excited for this match because I had been watching the build to it, and the build was around the fact that Braun Strowman is stupid.
Yeah,
Shane McMahon kept calling Braun Strowman stupid, and Braun Strowman wanted to show the world that he was not.
which in a
And
way
I was really uh,
it was known that
good.
who would have won, right? Because of the bullying.
Yeah, and I was really not excited about it, but the match was okay. The match as itself was okay, and especially the
Storyline.
way he ripped the cage and he brought him in, that was a really good spot. That was a
Wasn't
really
really
good spot.
excited
And
about the storyline, but whenever Shane is involved in a match, and that also a steel cage match, it should be good. So that was
yeah,
that was why I was totally rooting for.
yeah, the match as itself was good. The
Yeah,
build, not really much, but especially the spot that I was talking about, that when he ripped the steel cage to get him, pull him inside, that was magnificently done, and that really again uh, build up Strowman to that monster character that he is. So that was again a very good touch, and again 3.5 out of 5 for me.
yeah, same 3.5. 3.5. So let's
All
move to the next one. Bad Bunny.
Man, I'm a Bad Bunny fan now, and I did not expect it to say this before this match happened.
Yeah, the thing is, when Bad Bunny newly came to WWE, I heard that there was a guy named Bad Bunny. I was like, no, that cannot be the rapper. That can please don't be the
Hmm,
rapper. And when I saw it in the news that okay, he's going to have a match at WrestleMania, I was like, no, okay. But I wasn't expecting such a good match. I was expecting like all the celebrities were doing, and whichever
hmm,
celebrity came, it was like a 5 minutes match.
hmm,
And usually
hmm,
they weren't really going to do anything,
hmm,
just held back with the partner being in the front. But Bad
hmm.
Bunny really took a beating and really showed the
Yeah.
skill.
He was on the front from the start to almost pretty much the end. I mean, Damian Priest really came in for a very little time, and uh, the build was that obviously they were trying to build Damian Priest through this, but I think Bad Bunny gave us such a great effort that everybody was awestruck, and especially that Bunny Destroyer on the outside to Morrison. That was, oh my god, so
Wow,
like
that was,
even professional wrestlers have problems performing that move, and it was done so amazingly.
and this was like a first match for him. This wasn't like he was doing it for like a long time.
Mm, true, true, and I think it was a great match. It was greatly done. The spots, the Bunny Destroyer, obviously the dive from the top rope, the crossbody at the end. I mean, he pulled out all the stops, and uh, safe to say that I think the greatest celebrity match at WrestleMania of all time.
Okay, so I'll just add 2 points, two sentences actually at the end of. So I was really amused by the whole bunnies coming up to the ring, and I was thinking maybe it's one of those matches, the WrestleMania 24. So
Mhm.
on
Main
the
event.
match, which was the main event for the night one, this was the women's championship match. Bianca Belaire versus Sasha Banks. Okay, I was wrong in this one, to be dead. To be dead honest. But but I will stick to my fact that she doesn't deserve to be champion. I don't know, because of the botches which happened in the match. There were too many botches,
Mhm.
too many.
Mhm.
And it was known that it's just being. I mean, if you're going to push someone, at least make them botchless. I don't know.
But I personally, I love this match. It was clearly the best match of the night for me, and especially when they started and they were facing each other and they couldn't hold their emotions because of the moment, because if the fans were in and they started to break character a little.
You now, if
It was-
even if you're doing this, at least
Hmm,
make the wrestlers, aka entertainers, learn not to botch.
hmm. I get it. I get your point. I get your point. And I think, on my personal opinion, I think this match turned out to be amazing. Obviously, the botches were there. The botches were there in a lot of matches. There was botches in Sheamus versus Riddle. There were botches in, there were botches in. I think apart from the last match that was for the Universal Championship, I think there were botches in almost all matches.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that match later on. For now, this match was done pretty good, especially that last whip from Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Ouch. I
Whoa.
mean, that sound it created from the rear. And I mean, this is not even a Thunderdome stadium, because in Thunderdome stadium there are no noise, so you
Yeah.
can hear stuff. But this is a proper crowd there, and you could still hear that, and there was ouch. And I was like, that proper shot. I would never want to be hit by those again in my life. But the ending was great. I think the winner was suited. Surely, Bianca has a good future. She can go on for a long time. I don't think there is anyone right now that could really challenge her except for Banks
Bliss.
or Bailey right now in SmackDown at least, because there are no really strong challengers for her title right now. But let's see what happens. For me, this was a 4.5 out of 5.
I'll give it like 3.5 just because of the botches. Otherwise, it was 4.
Okay. Okay. And
Let's.
that's it for night one. Let's move on to night two. And for night two, sadly, very sadly, we have to start with Randy Orton versus The Fiend. And I was so excited for this match. And when it ended, I was so damn disappointed that I was like, what have they even done with this? I don't know what they're trying to achieve. I don't know what their motives are. I don't know what they've done in this match. Why would they not have Fiend over? I mean, at least have him do something other than like just that 3-minute match. And ugh, it was beyond me for me. I mean,
It
you
was
go ahead, take it away.
okay. So I will say one thing.
Hmm.
Starting was good, very good.
Yeah,
The match was
sure.
going very good. Even the tribute to Brody Lee given by Bray Wyatt,
Beautiful. That was
that
beautiful.
was beautiful, right? It was going
Yes.
great till the whole Sister Abigail story came up, but the ending was stupid. The ending was
Yes.
stupid. It
Yes.
so rushed that
Hmm.
I don't know why. If they want to do this sort of ending, they should have just postponed the match for some reason. The one thing I hate
Hmm.
is what they're doing with Bray Wyatt. The last
Hmm.
time they did it with Cena in the Firefly match,
Hmm.
that was also a waste of the talent for Bray. And now they're doing this again by making him
I
lose to.
mean, for the Firefly Funhouse match, I get it because Cena buried Bray Wyatt, and this was his revenge. And that came out very well. For me, that match was a 5 star out of 5 star match. It wasn't a match per se, but the story told throughout that match was amazing.
It was more
And
like
if they had done
over the top.
something on those lines again this year,
No, I get it.
I would have I
I
would
get
have
it for
agreed with
Cena.
that.
He was
Yeah.
handing over the torch. Fine, I get it.
Hmm.
But this was stupid. I don't know what to say
I
actually.
mean, this made no sense. I mean, at least I mean, okay, fine. If the Fiend is selling no selling bump on the table, he's no selling your DDTs, he's no selling every move that Randy Orton is pulling, and just one RKO and that's 1, 2, 3. That makes no sense again. I mean, he was no selling everything. He would if he would have no sold that RKO, beaten Randy Orton with a Sister Abigail, and then proceeded to stare at Alexa, that would have even made more sense than what they did right now. And for me, this match is a 0 out of 5. I don't want to
Same,
give it even a 1.
same. I was just
Zero
going
out
to
of
say
five, simply.
let's just skip the rating for this.
Yeah, 0 out of 5 for me,
All
simply.
right. So next match would be for the tag team titles.
Mm.
Shayna and Nia versus Natalya and Demina. Pretty boring match.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
usual.
Uh, okay match at best. It's an
Yeah.
okay match at best. There were people started to gather. The crowd was really, getting behind Tamina to get her WrestleMania moment. And if they would have won, I think there would have been a better reaction from the crowd. But nobody wanted Nia and Shayna to win.
I'll
And
just, I'll just give it a 2 straight out of the bat.
two for me as well. Same. Next match.
Next, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This was a good match. Logan, as usual, What can I say?
He was
Being
given
the
the
jerk,
he
we all
was
know.
and he was given the treatment, rightly so. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn can never have a bad match. I mean,
Yeah,
their history is just so long from their best friends, like from like 20 years or so. And the call out to that the end, when it was a call out to their Battleground 2016 match, where Sammy turns to into a haluva kick, holds Kevin, puts him back, and then gives him another haluva kick for the win. But this time Kevin learned, and when he was giving him the second haluva kick, he super kicked him once, then twice, and then into a stunner for the win.
the thing again comes.
So,
The thing again comes is the chemistry which they have is the
yeah,
same.
yeah,
It's is the
yeah,
same as Samoa Joe and Punk used to have.
true, true,
So I mean, it can
true.
never be a bad match.
Yeah, it wasn't possible to be a bad match. We just wanted to know how it happened, and it happened, and
Yeah,
it was great. I mean, the spots were amazing. The brainbuster on the apron by Sammy to Owens was brutal.
the DDTs were good,
The
jumps were
yeah
good,
the
everything.
the jumps were good. The superplex from the top, the more than superplex, it was more of a Mishinoko driver
Yeah,
sort of thing from the top of the rope by Kevin Owens. The Mishinoko driver itself from Sami Zayn to Kevin Owens was amazing. So it was overall a
it's
great match. 4 out
4.5
of 5 for me.
for me. Sorry, what?
4 out of 5 for me.
I'll give it a
4 out of
4.5.
5 for me.
I'll give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay, next
Okay.
match for the United States title, Sheamus versus Riddle. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. I
Decent
I
match.
agree.
Decent match.
Yeah, something Hassan said in the predictions video, that I've never been a fan of the stoner gimmick, and Riddle is just like, I mean, he just acts that he's like high all the time, and I don't get it. I
Let me tell you what I see whenever he comes.
mean,
Dude, that's what I see.
exactly, exactly. I mean, that's pretty much his gimmick. That's pretty much his
Yeah.
gimmick. And I think Sheamus has been on a very good run. If it wasn't for Lashley, interestingly, if it wasn't for Lashley, picking up so much push, there were chances of Sheamus versus McIntyre for the WWE
Yeah.
Championship. They were building towards that, but Lashley got somewhat of a push, so they picked that for
I mean,
that and
okay,
gave
at,
Sheamus
at,
the
at the end, Sheamus got a title, so it's not bad.
yeah, and the finish, the last broke kick, man, in the air and beautiful.
It's
Mwah.
it's a throwback to when he like originally came, like back in 2008, 2010. So
Mm,
it was like throwback to Sheamus being the
mm.
newbie in the business.
True, and especially Riddle's lip got tore open with that last blow kick. It was hit so perfectly in the end because he was upside down in air and there was a blow kick
Perfect.
connection and his
I
lip
mean,
got
I
torn
enjoyed
open.
it, to
So
be honest. I'm not even
yeah,
going to
so
lie.
that really made it even better than it was. So another 4 out of 5 for me for this one.
Same, four out of five.
All
Okay,
right, so
so
next match is Apollo
Nigerian
Crews
drumstick.
versus Big E in a Nigerian drum fight for
Five.
the Intercontinental Championship. What do you think?
I I didn't want it Apollo to win the way he won. It was messed up. So what I do believe is he will get a rematch very soon.
Mm, mm.
So I'm keeping my hopes up. The match was so, like maybe 3.5 out of 5.
I agree with you. I think what the problem with this match was, apart from that messed up ending, the match was short
Yeah, it was rushed
for
in
these
a way.
two. Yeah, it was short. Uh, I had complaints for two matches for being short. One in night two that I'll get to when we'll get to night two. This match was shorter than it was supposed to be. I think if they would have given them like 5 to 6 minutes more, they could have done
Wait,
something
we're
more
already on
beautiful
night
with
two.
it.
We're already on night two.
Oh yeah, sorry. The next match actually on in night two, the very next match actually
Yeah,
in night two that I have a problem with. Sorry, my bad, people. But yeah, if they would have given them like 5 to 7 minutes more, they could have done something better with this. Sure, Biggie still looks strong in
Ricky was
defeat
getting
because he
such a
didn't
good
lose
push.
properly. He didn't lose
Yeah,
like properly, so Biggie still looks strong. And the SmackDown after WrestleMania is still waiting for us to see what happens with this storyline. But I think it's a 3.5 for me as well.
I'll give it a 3.
I,
I want
I
to give it a
expected
2.5,
better.
but let's just be
Yeah,
generous and give it
yeah.
a
I personally expected better from this match. I
yeah.
wanted more. Yeah. Okay. The next match is for the Raw Women's Championship for Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. And the same problem that I had with the Biggie match, it was too
Short.
short to enjoy.
It was rushed.
Yeah, it was rushed. It could have had a more. It started off very slow, and then it put on a very fast pace to just end it. And I could not get into it so much.
To be
Uh,
to be honest, I would replace this match to be the main event of the first night, and it would have been better than this.
if given
Yeah.
time, I agree. Yes, if given time, the two participants in the match are amazing. Uh, Rhea Ripley is, phew, I mean, she's an ass kicker, and Asuka is Asuka. We all know
I
nobody's
mean,
ready for Asuka.
I'm not complaining about the ending, but I think Asuka should have done better. But maybe this is the push she's just handing over to Rhea.
Yeah, I think Asuka needs a break
But
after all
again,
this.
it's been so
She
long.
she actually held that company on her back for this 1 year because Becky had to go because of her pregnancy, and I think Asuka did a very fine job of that. But I think she needs a break as well, and I think Rhea Ripley at 24 years of age becoming the champion is a very good thing. So I think she has a great future ahead, and I think it's a 3.8 out of 5 for me. I
I'll
don't
give
want to
it a
give it a 3.5.
3.
It's a
I
little.
will still give it a 3.5, even if you don't want to give it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't
Everybody
I
likes
don't I
going
don't
with
mind
3.5.
giving the same results.
And now, the Universal Championship match: Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge.
I'll give it a
And
5.
I will just say,
I'll give it a 5 straight out of the
I
bat.
give it a 6. I'll give it a 6 out of 5. This was an amazing match. The story told, the performances, everybody got the moment, everybody got his moment, everybody looked strong. Roman, obviously, amazing. Edge was phenomenal. Daniel Bryan was amazing.
You know what
Oh, this
this
match
reminds
was.
me of? 2009 Night of Champions, Orton versus Triple H versus Cena. This reminds me of
Oh,
that match.
that was a good match. That was a good match. That's a good comparison, I believe. Uh, and the spots where, especially the two spots that I really enjoyed. One that when Edge had that bar crossface on Roman, and Roman was about to tap, but Daniel Bryan held his hand and pinned it to a yes lock, and they both were trying to headbutt each other off, and that was so amazing. And then when Edge spared Roman and Bryan, pulled the referee at the last moment. The close finishes were amazing. The ending was story based more than wrestling based,
Yeah,
but the story told was beautiful.
there's
Ex-
no like margin of complaints in this. That's what I will say.
exactly. It was done
I know,
perfectly by
I
every
know, I
participant.
know Ed
Even
should have.
Jay Uso did perfectly in this
I know Ed should have won it because of the whole Rumble
match.
thing and coming back.
Yeah.
But again, I don't mind what happened. Maybe as might get a shot in the future with someone else. I'm not complaining. I wanted Roman to win.
Exactly, and I also wanted Roman to win. I wanted Roman to win, and I said it because Roman deserves to be the champion because his gimmick right now is so amazing, the head of the table. Because he cannot be the head of the table without that championship. And I think the championship needs to stay with him for at least one more year if this
Yeah,
gimmick goes strong.
easily.
And what I really want is next WrestleMania, it be
Title versus
Roman
title.
Reigns versus The Rock at the main event, and Roman Reigns beat the pissing shit out of The Rock.
You know what? I can see it coming. Why?
Yeah,
Because already Samoans gave him the blessing, which the Rock used to
exactly,
have before.
exactly,
So I
exactly.
see it
And
coming.
it would be like two head of the tables of the Samoan dynasty battling it out. And I just want Roman to beat the living crap out of The Rock.
Yeah, but
Not
again, Rock.
because Rock is not good, just because The Rock is now old and he has to pass the torch to Roman.
I don't think even if they do it with the Rock, they won't do it with one match. Maybe they will have to. The same with the scene
Probably,
thing.
probably.
Maybe they will
Probably.
do one at WrestleMania and one at SummerSlam. I don't know, but this will happen. I mean, the story is building in a way.
Let's hope so. Let's hope The Rock quickly finishes up Black Adam and goes towards wrestling again.
Yeah, let's see. So this is a
All
fun,
right.
and I think
Yeah.
this is a wrap.
It's a 6 out of 5 for me. 6 out of 5 for me. Definitely.
All
And
right.
so with this ends our review for WrestleMania 37. The prediction contest scores at the end of the day were 10, 6 Hassan, and 5 for Junaid. And but it was a great show. Finally, we had audience again in the crowds, not looking at the digital crowd anymore. And good for you, WWE. Have fun, and we'll see you guys the next time. Thank you.
Peace.